In this documentary journey, you will step into the mind of a medieval priest burdened with forbidden knowledge, private sins, and secrets too dangerous to speak aloud. Through atmosphere, history, and the heavy breath of guilt, we explore what it truly meant to live a double life under the watch of the Church and the eyes of God. In the medieval world, priests were believed to be moral pillars, intermediaries between heaven and earth. Yet the age was shadowed by suspicion, rigid doctrine, and the constant threat of accusation. Confession was sacred, but temptation was everywhere. A single misstep could lead to disgrace, imprisonment, or death. It is within this unforgiving landscape that your secrets begin to take shape. As a priest, you carry not only your own burdens, but the whispered sins of an entire village. The confessional is dim, the air humid with breath and fear. You listen to tales of theft, jealousy, adultery, and violence. But sometimes you'll hear something far worse. Conspiracies, hidden cults, or crimes that would ignite the wrath of secular authorities. You remember the chilling winter morning when a trembling farmer confessed witnessing a nobleman commit a murder. Bound by the seal of confession, you could not speak. Yet the nobleman rode proudly through the village mere days later, untouched, untouchable. The silence becomes your secret as well, a truth sealed behind your calm expression. The monastery is a fortress of discipline, but desire slips through the cracks like cold wind under the door. You were meant to rise above earthly cravings, yet the world outside persists. You remember the young widow who offered you warm bread and a lingering gaze. The vow of chastity is clear. The rules are absolute. But emotion is not. Each encounter leaves a bruise on your conscience. Historical records describe many such battles. In the late 12th century, chroniclers wrote of priests caught living double lives, some maintaining secret families, others visiting taverns in disguise. The church condemned them, but desire remained a weapon no vow could fully restrain. And so, your own quiet struggles become another shadow beneath your robes. You were trained in scripture, not medicine, yet villagers come to you for cures. The church condemns superstition, but to refuse would be cruel and suspicious. So you keep small vials of herbs in a locked chest. Wormwood, nightshade, monk's hood. You administer them with caution, knowing that even a minor mistake could lead to accusations of sorcery. One evening, during a storm, a desperate mother begged you to save her fevered son. With trembling hands, you mixed a remedy you were never meant to prepare. The boy survived, but rumors spread that you possessed unnatural powers. Historical accounts from the early 13th century describe priests secretly practicing folk medicine, caught between compassion and the church's fear of witchcraft. Your hidden remedies become yet another secret carved into your conscience. The church holds immense authority, but so do the nobles who fund it. Sometimes you stand between the two, and silence becomes your survival. When the lord of the region demands favorable words in your sermons, you comply not out of devotion, but fear. You recall a monk from a nearby abbey who dared to criticize a noble's brutality. Within a fortnight, he vanished. The whispers claimed he had been punished in the Lord's private dungeon. No one investigated. No one dared. Documents from the late medieval era reveal similar patterns. Priests pressured to ignore cruelty, to bless corrupt deals, to remain blind. Now you too participate in this unspoken pact, your moral struggle deepening with every dishonest word you preach. You discover them hidden in the oldest trunks of the monastery library, texts banned by ecclesiastical decree, treatises on natural philosophy, writings of scholars condemned for heresy. Their pages whisper tantalizing ideas, questioning doctrines you were taught to obey without hesitation. Late at night, by candlelight, you read with a mix of fear and wonder. Knowledge becomes a temptation more powerful than any earthly desire. But possession of such works could lead to interrogation, expulsion, or worse. Historical records from the 14th century describe priests punished for reading outlawed manuscripts, works of ancient thinkers, astronomers, and critics of church corruption. You hide the books carefully, always listening for footsteps, always fearing discovery. Your sermons speak of purity, honesty, and righteous living. But inside, guilt coils around your heart like a tightening rope. Each Sunday, as you look upon your congregation, you wonder how many of them suspect your hidden flaws. Priests of the medieval period lived under immense pressure to embody spiritual perfection. Yet many struggled in silence, fearing that confession of their own sins would lead to public scandal or punitive discipline. You tell yourself that your flaws are human, that your deeds are driven by necessity, compassion, or fear. But every lie, every omission, every compromise deepens the chasm between who you are and who you pretend to be. Across the region, whispers drift like smoke. Inquisitors are traveling from town to town, investigating heresy, rooting out corruption, interrogating clergy. Their arrival is unpredictable, their methods relentless. You know your secrets would not withstand scrutiny. Your forbidden knowledge, your hidden texts, your private temptations, each one could condemn you. The mere presence of these inspectors fills you with cold dread, a dread that settles deep in your bones. Historical accounts describe how even innocent priests lived in fear, for a single accusation could lead to relentless questioning. In such an atmosphere, your secrets feel heavier than ever before. The monastery walls are ancient, built of stone that seems to absorb every confession, every rumor, every tremor of unease. Recently, the brothers speak in hushed tones, glancing over shoulders, weighing every word. They suspect that someone among them carries forbidden knowledge. They do not know it is you, but you feel their suspicion like a cold draft beneath the door. One evening, you overhear two monks discussing strange noises near your cell. Your hands shake as you realize they are speaking of the faint scratches of quill on parchment, the rustle of outlawed pages you tried so hard to silence. Historical accounts describe entire monastic communities unraveling because of hidden transgressions or rumors of heresy. Your world becomes fragile, a structure that might collapse at the slightest sound. Late one night, a hooded figure enters the confessional. His voice is uneven, trembling. He reveals that he has witnessed illicit meetings between a priest and an unnamed woman. He claims he has seen hidden manuscripts, locked chests, and secret movements after curfew. And then, with a shuddering breath, he whispers that he suspects you. But the seal of confession binds you. You cannot confront him, cannot defend yourself, cannot reveal what you have heard. You must listen as he describes your own life as a catalog of sins. In medieval chronicles, this was not uncommon. Priests were forced to hear confessions implicating themselves, unable to react, unable to stop the slow tightening of suspicion around them. When he leaves, you remain alone in the darkness, your pulse echoing like a distant bell. The nobleman you protected through silence arrives at the monastery for a private conversation. His eyes betray no gratitude, only calculation. He reminds you that if his deeds become known, he will ensure that your own secrets destroy you first. You realize you are trapped in a web spun of power, fear, and mutual guilt. To expose him would be to expose yourself. To remain silent is to live under constant threat. Documents from the late 14th century describe many similar situations. Clergy entangled with powerful lords, blackmailed into cooperation, forced into complicity. Your moral struggle deepens into a prison from which there seems no escape. Alone in your cell, you wage a silent war within your own mind. You open the forbidden manuscripts again, searching for clarity, for meaning. Some writings challenge the foundations of your faith. Others ask questions you were forbidden to even consider. You wonder if your desire for knowledge is a sin or a calling, if your fear is a test or a punishment. Shadows on the walls flicker with each candle flame as though spirits themselves judge you. Historical accounts reveal that many priests struggled with internal conflict more than any external punishment. Their greatest torturer was often their own conscience. You close the manuscripts, but cannot silence the questions. At dawn, an inquisitor arrives at the monastery. His robe is simple, but his presence is suffocating. He speaks softly, yet every word carries authority. He requests access to the library, the cells, the records, and the sermons. A monk informs you that the inquisitor has asked to speak with each priest individually. Your hands feel numb. Your secrets have endured storms, threats, and temptation, yet this is the danger they were never meant to withstand. In actual medieval investigations, inquisitors often relied on subtle pressure, observing reactions, comparing stories, examining inconsistencies. Many priests broke down before formal questioning even began. The inquisitor's gaze lingers on you a moment too long. You sit across from the inquisitor in a small, cold chamber. The light is dim. He asks simple questions at first about your sermons, your duties, the villages. Then he shifts to more dangerous ground books, private activities, late-night movements. Each question feels like a blade pressed lightly against your skin, waiting to draw blood. He asks whether you possess texts not approved by the church, whether you have engaged in acts unbefitting your vow, whether you have ever withheld information about crimes committed within your parish. The room feels smaller with each passing moment. Your heartbeat becomes a drum within your chest. Historical records describe how many priests answered truthfully, not out of courage, but out of exhaustion, unable to maintain the burden of their secrets. Others lied and suffered greater punishment later. You choose your words carefully, aware that every syllable could seal your fate. When the interrogation ends, the inquisitor offers no verdict. He simply nods, thanks you, and leaves you alone in the empty chamber. Your fate is suspended, a blade hanging by a thread. Returning to your cell, you must decide the path forward. Will you destroy the forbidden books? Will you confess your private sins to a superior, risking severe discipline? Or will you continue as you have, hoping the shadows keep your secrets a little longer? Medieval history reveals that many priests lived indefinitely in this twilight, between danger and duty, concealing truths that gnawed at them until their final breath. Your world remains unchanged on the surface, but inside something has fractured. The life of a medieval priest with dark secrets was a journey through fear, temptation, and silent compromise. Beneath the robe and the authority lay a human being divided between sacred duty and private shadows. History teaches that behind the illusion of piety often stood individuals burdened by guilt, torn by moral conflict, and haunted by the precarious balance between truth and survival. And so, your story becomes not only a reflection of the past, but a reminder of the fragile nature of conscience when power, fear, and secrecy collide. As the final candle burns low, the shadows lengthen and only silence remains.